Okay, so we're working on a 2006 Chevy Impala 3.9 engine, and I was getting a message in the dash, engine hot, AC off, which that usually means a thermostat problem or a coolant sensor problem. I've already replaced the thermostat because when you use the test meter, the car was telling you it was taking too long to warm up, and I replaced the thermostat. Now that I've done that, the message has adjusted a little bit. Now it says it doesn't reach correct operating temperature, and reading the temperature gauge in the car, the indicator hand is a little bit lower in the gauge than it would be normally. It's about a half a tick mark low. So I expect it's just a weak signal from this coolant sensor that's causing that problem, and a relatively simple fix. Probably take 45 minutes or something to do this if you don't run into any issues. So tools that I used, just real quickly, I'll set them on the ground so we can see them. So pretty much this is all I needed. A screwdriver, some adjustable pliers. I used a 3/8 ratchet and a 10mm deep socket. I also used a ratchet with an extension, a swivel, and a crowfoot because I had a crowfoot. You could probably get this done a different way, but that was really simple to use that since I had that. Like I said, that's a 19mm. If you don't have a 19mm, a 3/4 should work as well. And to get access to it, take the engine cover off, which means take the oil-filled tube, grab the bottom of the tube, twist it counterclockwise, and pull it straight out the top. When you do that, pulling it straight out the top, that'll remove the only hold down on the engine cover, and then you've got those two kind of ball socket assemblies right there and there that you just reach up on the cover and pull up gently after you get that tube out of the way, and that's one thing out of your way. Then you need to take the air cleaner assembly off, so that's this guy right here. That's what you're using a large screwdriver for. There's a connector here, which is this, and you just pull it straight out the top. This tube snaps into the bottom of this. I doubt you can see it, but there's a little lever here. You can pull up and then back, and it'll unlock, because it's actually grabbing underneath this tube right now. And when I say up and unlock, it's under tension holding it in there, so when you move that tab, it's going to pull it back so that you can slide it off. That plastic tube's probably brittle, so I'd be really careful with that. And then the only other thing that was in your way is these heater hose lines, which they're hanging down here on a bracket, 10mm bracket, or 10mm nuts in two places on the bracket. So that's what I used that wrench for. And the ends, since these hoses haven't been off, they've pretty much baked themselves onto the tube, and even twisting them or working a small screwdriver in there, I could not get them out. So I just clipped them off. It's a foot of heater hose, no big deal. And in 5 minutes I had them off. Instead of, I could have fought with them for a half hour and maybe still tore up the hoses and had to replace them. So it's much simpler just to clip that off, leave the other end connected, flip the front end off right below that engine bracket, and then just put a new section of hose on each of those and reuse the clamps. To open the clamps, you're just using your adjustable pliers, grabbing the ears on the clamp as I work this wrench in my hand. Grab the ears on the clamp, squeeze it, and then just work the clamp up the hose. So I've already taken those two off. They're just kind of dangling there. They were in their original position. I squeezed it and twisted a little bit and worked its way up out of my way. And then I realized, even with the clamps off, they weren't coming off, so I just cut the hose. So the coolant sensor is actually down here on the side of the block, and it's got one wire connector on it, and it's got a clip, very standard clip, and just raise the clip in the direction that my thumb's moving and pull it straight out, and it'll come off, and then you'll have the coolant sensor yet to get out, which coolant sensor looks like this. It's got 3/4 inch or 19 millimeter hex. It's got a washer that comes with it. It comes with its own sealant on the threads and two-prong connector, as we talked about a second ago. So since the transmission of electricity for this signal is very weak, you don't want to put anything on the threads, and you don't want to put anything on this terminal, wire grease or anything like that. Normally you would, but in this case don't, because since it's such a weak signal, it might give you an erroneous reading, and then you'd be doing the job again. So just keep it clean, put it back together, and you should be good to go. And as I look around the car, I don't see anything else I need to tell you about. It's a pretty straightforward job. It made life really easy to clip the end of the hoses off, and a couple bucks for a foot of hose is a great spend when I'm going to spend a half hour more fighting those hoses on a soon-to-be 90-degree day here. Okay, good luck.